Hello, hello. Are we live? We are live. Okay. This is Ugly Old Goat here. So much has been happening. I've been really busy. Haven't even been able to get a newsletter out. But I want to do a quick live show, particularly for my subscribers. Eventually, we're going to get some kind of a webinar, so just subscribers can get these personal messages. I don't want people that don't subscribe to be asking me all kinds of questions. You subscribers, I don't mind a bit. Really appreciate your support. It's amazing what we're doing. I'm here tonight because I just want to practice. You're going to see the quality of our stuff just get better and better and better. Again, my forte, my strength is in writing. It's not this YouTube stuff, but I'm going to get better. And all right. Hey, all right. Hello, Nick Core, Andre Mazarin. All right. All right, guys. So the main reason I am calling tonight or making this video is tomorrow is the last day to get in on the charter membership at half price. Now, when I priced this stuff, Bitcoin was half the price it is now. Okay, when I priced the stuff, Bitcoin is half the price it is now. But I'm not gonna lower the price. And I think what I am going to do is anybody, if you sign up tomorrow, just sign up under the basic, and I'll still give you the full premium membership because. But that's it. And I've been sending that anyway. Anybody that's been buying basic, I've been sending you the newsletter anyway, just because I want to, it's educational. My main purpose here is to educate. It's not to make a lot of money. Okay, I'm not making anything. Anything we get, we're putting right back into this business. And I wanted to announce tomorrow. I'm going to be going to San Diego. Kęstutis and I'm going to take off my mask so we can talk a little bit more intimately. Kęstutis and I tomorrow, we're going to do a special. We're going to do a special program sometime between 4 and 6 Pacific time if I get across the border in time. But I know a lot of people have made some mistakes in this market. There's been some people that have suffered some serious liquidations, and we want to do a special series on that, just dealing with liquidations and making big mistakes. Hey, I've done it. If hopefully you're not my age, because you don't want to be my age and make those kind of mistakes. But if you're young, don't worry about it. What I'm going to teach you here, you're going to be successful. So that's, and you don't need to subscribe to get the principles I'm teaching you. My whole concept on trading is money management. I don't think it's really that important what technical tools you use, whether, it's like the tone-based sequential system, whether you use, hyperwave or that kind of, or you're charting, whatever technicals you use, the whole key is money management. And that's where the people that gotten hurt, that's where they blew it. And they come back and say, oh, Ugly, I read you, but I didn't follow it. Hey, you know what? That's how you learn. And tomorrow, hopefully, we'll have the dollar average, and you're going to get that out for me tomorrow because I'm real excited. It looks like even if you had the very worst timing and you started dollar averaging of December in 2017, you're in the red. You're in the black. You're in the money now, and that doesn't really surprise me. Bitcoin, it's a Wild West show. It's a gunslinger's market, so it's going to be really interesting to when that comes out, and you just have to drill that into your head. You need to dollar cost average. I don't know where the market's going. I don't have no clue, and I trade accordingly. And the problem is what the analysts, there's a lot of pressure on us. Most people will come up and ask you, oh, Ugly, where do you think the market's going to go? And, I insult them because I say, you know what, you're not asking the right question. They say, well, I'm just asking you. Well, it's not the right question. You ask me, am I long or I'm short? And I'll tell you. You can ask me my position, but don't ask me where the market's going because I have no clue. And that's that's the way you have to gear yourself in these markets. And the other thing that we're going to be developing this next coming years is, of course, the dollar cost averaging is for your hodling. But I was able to acquire a really cool domain name today, and I got all of them, the .coms and .net and all that, total Bitcoin package. And so we're going to voice broadcast probably to every business in the United States and have them visit totalbitcoinpackage.com. And it'll really be probably this web, because we're developing, incidentally, guys, if you're good at social media, I'm not competent in this stuff. I know what I'm doing trading. I can run a business, a basic business, but this other stuff, I just have a small staff here. But if you want to, come down here and roll up your sleeves and get to work, hey, we can do it here. And I do have a room that just opened, don't I? 2 rooms that just opened. So if you want to be what do they call it? Intern, we got that too. So that's it. But emphasis, I'm going to go to screen share now. We're going to go look at the website a little bit. I need to, okay, let me see, share. Oh, okay. Hey, I got a real nice shout out. I think it was from Tone that they recognized that I was the only bull at the Unconfiscatable conference in January. And so that was nice. I mean, Basis told me we weren't going to break 3,000. I loudly proclaimed it. I took my position. We ran 2 Bitcoin into over 20 Bitcoin. Because I didn't want to risk anymore and show you how to do it, I liquidated my position. We're back down to 2, started again at 2 Bitcoin. And that's where the trading position is now. I'll go over that in just a moment, but I want to go to, how do I get out of this? Oh, I need to minimize that. Okay. Now I need to go to the website. And hey, guys, if you have not subscribed yet, hit the newsletter, subscribe through tomorrow. It's half price. And here's the deal. I don't care if you can subscribe for basic or lifetime if you want to support us, or premium. But if you do the basic, I'm still going to get, so far, everybody has gotten basic. I send them the newsletter anyway, because I want people to learn. And so the market's gone up so much that, I know it's kind of a little steep, and I think it's going to, either one is going to well pay for itself, but go ahead and just sign up, get the things done. Tomorrow's the last day. The referral code and the affiliate code system is operating. I'm not sure exactly how it works. It was explained to me once. I'll have to do a tutorial on it, but hopefully you can figure out how it works. So when we put out a good article, you can tweet that out, give somebody your referral code, and then if they sign up for a subscription, we will give you 10% of that subscription price, plus anything that they purchase on the website. I mean, not if you're going on the cruise, not the cruise itself, but the conference ticket and anything else they purchase on the website. Okay, and then I want to go back and look at the cruise briefly. That is the conference. Again, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but please, if you can, sign up for it. I got some more speakers lined up. I just haven't had time to update this. And that's the cruise pricing. I really want to try and fill this up by May 22nd. And then maybe I can negotiate, but they flat out told me it's 60 people and that's it. So I'm counting on that. I'm not going to be making any on this thing at all, because if I just have 60 people, by the time I pay all the speakers, to come, we're just going to scratch. But hey, we just want to get one under our belt, because I know these conferences are not easy. All right, now I'm going to get out of screen share. I'm getting better at this, guys. I'm getting better. Let's see, what do I do? Stop screen sharing. Boom. All right, now what I do? Eddie, show me what I do. I stopped, but what do I do to get back? I go down. Oh, go back. Here? All right. Okay, there we go. All right. All right. Can I go into more money management? Yes, Michael, I certainly will. That's what I just want to emphasize, guys. I think I'm blowing out of the market with a smile. That was one of my first articles I wrote. So go to that one. It really explains it. I have a real good guy that's a good supporter of ours, and he, okay, we're going to do a show tomorrow. I'm going to go to San Diego. I'm going to Kostis studio, and we're going to do a show, and we're going to have a special guest. And it's a guy that, had a nasty experience in the market, and he knows it was his fault. Okay, and he blew his whole nest egg. And I was young, I did the same thing. So if you follow the principle, and it's hard, it really is hard. It's really easy, but it's hard. It's just like dollar cost averaging. Everybody is asking me, well, I know, but when do I buy? I don't know. That's why I do that dollar cost averaging chart. I take the very worst time, say, look, if you start at the very worst time, here's your results. And you know what? After tomorrow, it looks like you're actually going to be in a profit, even though you had the very worst timing. That's Bitcoin. And so you just have to have that discipline. I turned 62 in, it would have been, 19, so I was born in 49, so it would have been 2011 or something like that. And I was drawing $1,000 a month Social Security because I wanted to get it out as fast as I could. I always invested it. As soon as I learned about Bitcoin, I just put that in Bitcoin every month. Well, guess what? You put $1,000 in Bitcoin every month, starting in August of 2013, and you're taken care of. So, you hear all these guys on the radio and say, oh, you don't, make sure you manage your Social Security right. Well, you know what? We know that the whole system's on shaky ground. The government's not going to take care of you. So get your money out, put it in Bitcoin. And if you're working, hey, save it, put it in Bitcoin. You want to have, if you have a net worth, you want to have at least 5 and preferably 15% of your wealth in Bitcoin. And if you don't have anything, you're going to have to change the way you're thinking, change the way you do things. The problem is we live in a consumer and debt society. Bitcoin is going to change the whole world, the way we do things and the way we work. This money management thing is just not dollar cost averaging. And that's why I say there's 3 parts to it. And that is hodling, which is, you buy and hold Bitcoin. Saving, which is actually you take a profit in your Bitcoin and you buy other assets. And then the third thing is after you buy those assets, you build things. And that's how you do it. And using those 3 principles, we're going to change the world. And this is what I want to teach. That's why I was so fortunate today. I got totalbitcoinpackage.com. That's the total Bitcoin package. It's not just hodling Bitcoin, okay? And the referral system I'm building, that's just a very primitive beginning of merchant commercial banking. And so you can actually get your own income stream. And, hopefully we'll put more and more and more value into that website so people will want to sign up under you to get the information we're providing. Okay, let me look at these. How do I scroll up and down? Can you show me some of the pictures? Some of the questions. Okay, Zezo Duarte, can money management work without discipline? No. I'm sure you will say no. So how to build a discipline to make sure you follow money management? Well, look, I'm a Christian man. We're all totally depraved. And, when we think we know it, we don't. And it's one thing you have to do is you put all kinds of protections and safeguards on yourself. If you have to spread your Bitcoin around so you don't have access to it, so because this is a great trade, I'm going to throw the whole farm because I think Bitcoin's going to do this or do that. Well, you might be right, but the problem is you might be wrong. Nobody's right all the time. And discipline, that is the hardest thing. That's why I say that there's 3 secrets to successful trading. The first secret is money management. And the second one is money management. And the third one is money management. And if you think I'm repeating myself, oh yeah, I get that, just teach me how to trade. You don't get it yet. Because the fourth secret, if you think you have money, it's money management because you don't have it yet. I struggle with it. Everybody does. Okay. And we all do stupid. I do stupid. I'm at A&U say the goat lady has agreed she couldn't make it last Saturday, but she's going to come on and give a great performance this Saturday, and show how she's such a perfect balance to me. I didn't want to sell out a lot of Bitcoin when it was, over 10,000, 12, and $20,000. But she had things. Let's do this and let's do that, and we have. My net worth is it's well over 15% Bitcoin, but at one time it was all Bitcoin, and now my net worth is built on a whole lot of other things. But I have enough Bitcoin yet that everything falls apart for us here, in Sonata. We have escape money. At least our wealth does, even if we can't get out. What's your most memorable wall on Wall Street? Also most profitable. I don't know. And probably the thing that I always remember is when I was in 1973, and I was about 23 years old. And when I went to work, first of all, the only reason I have a college education. Oh, and I've got a glass of wine here. I'm drinking a little Lambrusco, so I hope you don't mind. When I got, the only reason I got a college education is because when I went to school, you either went to school or you went to war, and a losing war at that. And then we had the draft, and I got a real high number, and I dropped out of school. But I only had like a few credits left, and then I got married, and then, okay, I did the routine. I don't know why I did. It was the first time I got all A's in school, but at the last quarter I finished, I got all A's and graduated. But I really didn't need it. And I would not have gone to college had it not been for that war. When I got out, I worked construction for a while, and then I got introduced by my father into commodities trading. And so I got, I went to a firm and said, hey, look, I just want a desk. You don't have to pay me anything. I want to learn this business. And which I did. I said, my dad has a small account, $5,000. I'll open up. You don't have to pay me anything. Just give me a desk and, let me have at it. And they did that. And no company does that anymore. Merrill Lynch or something like that wouldn't have hired me. But at that time, there was a small brokerage firm, reputable one. It was called Clayton Brokerage out of St. Louis. And they hired me. And, I got registered and got my desk and put $5,000 down on the market. And I think this was in April of 1973. And by golly, I within 6 weeks, I had that $5,000 into like $350,000. I think I started in April, middle of June, it was $350,000. And I had it all figured out. I'd have $1 million by September, and I'd retire by the end of the year. Well, needless to say, it didn't quite work that way. And by September, I'd wiped it all out. I'd lost everything. So that's the lesson you have to learn. And so, and remember, I came out after doing an 11-year stint in prison in 2002. And, it started from scratch, built a business from scratch, a business that also helped put my prosecutor not behind bars, but he had to resign from being the attorney general in Kansas. And I have a business, a voice broadcasting business, and that's what I have developed. And that enabled me to, when that started, I started in 2004, and I didn't really make it until 2016. That election was the election where I did well enough that I was able to pay off all my debt, and then the balance I put into Bitcoin. And so then the rest is history. I already had Bitcoin, but I was able to increased my position substantially. And that was in November of 2016. I don't know what the price was. Oh, Eddie, you probably remember what was the price then, because I was going to give you Bitcoin. Here's a good story. You want to get on it?
It was high.
It's about 500. At any rate, Eddie works for me, and so I was going to give him his bonus in Bitcoin, but he didn't know what it was, and he's always borrowing money from me ahead of time. I said, look, Eddie, here's a big lump sum. You know, don't, this is good. You need to come on up here and tell this, because somebody wants to know about.
I really don't.
Yeah, come on, you got to, because this is such a good story. So yeah, you didn't have. When you ask, well, how do you get this discipline to manage your money? Well, he had the discipline. Here's what he did. I gave him like $5,000. Said, Eddie, this is your reserve. Don't spend it except if it's an emergency.
Right.
And I said, you have a lump sum. You're in great shape. Said, now see if you can handle it. And he was so scared. He was so afraid that he was going to blow it. He went, and he didn't have a bank account. So he went and opened up a bank account. Well, the first thing they do when you open a bank account is they try and sell you insurance. Well, come on over here and tell this story.
They were looking for a sucker.
Yeah, so come on over and tell this. Come on over here.
I'm kind of embarrassed.
Okay, so here's the deal. He goes and buys this whole life insurance, but he can't touch it for 5 years. And so then he got in trouble about 3 months later. He says, oh, Conrad, or I said, Ugly, I need some money. I said, hey, you got a big bonus. I told you, what happened? He says, well, I was so worried about that I'd spend that money, that I put it in a fund for my son, and I can't touch it for 5 years. So, these are lessons you have to learn. You just have to learn money management. There's no two ways around it. And, if you're young, you got a lot going for you. If you're my age and you haven't learned it yet, you probably don't have any hope. Okay. Okay. You say you never know where the market is going, but how do you develop a bullish and bearish bias? Well, I use I use weekly highs and lows, and I like the basis, and those are things that I use. There's all kinds of tools that you can use. I mean, I don't use a lot of them, and then you can experiment with different things. I mean, I'm a little bit sad because I should have caught this big move. I had a big position on, but I really just didn't want to have any. I don't need to trade anymore, and I wanted to show people that it could be done. And so when I took that little equity hit, I said, you know what? I need to show them that I don't need to be a big trader. I can be a small trader. So yeah, I probably, if I had that 20 Bitcoin and kept those long positions, I probably have 100 or 200 Bitcoin by now. But I don't need to do that, and then I wouldn't be able to help you guys. So I can, another thing too is just don't have a whole lot in your trading account. That's you take it out. All right, Nick Core, remember when Ugly tweeted out Leah's Zoom link? Oh no, did I do that? I think it was. I think Tyler tweeted out the link to participate. And so we had all these people logging in. So, okay. Do you recommend Forex trading in traditional markets? Yeah, sure. It's fine. I just don't. I mean, I got all I can do in Bitcoin. Why do I need to do that if I trade Bitcoin? So, but it's fine. Yes. And, I found out I've got a annuity that showed up when I was a broker. And so I'm going to look into transferring that to some, because I have no other retirement fund than what I've made. So I might see if I can put that into some kind of a fund so I don't pay taxes on it, and then trade traditional markets. And I don't know what I'm going to do, but okay, we are about to hit 8.5K. I don't know, maybe. The problem that you have now, this is what I wrote about when we were down there, is that where we are now, we've taken out everybody that got liquidated on the sell down from 6,500 to 3,500, and so it's really hard to say what we're going to do, because we could get way overextended. And we could literally go, and I wrote this time again, I said, we could literally go up to new high. What I'm really looking for is, I think we're probably going to go test the old highs, but none of the alts will. And then we actually, then that's what kind of scares me, because then you actually could have a situation, you know, the hyperwave where we come all the way back down to 1,000 again because of panic or, you know, government action or whatever lies ahead, because there is a lot of crap out there that needs to be washed out. And, you know, so, you know, I never scoffed at the hyperwave. In fact, I believe in the hyperwave. I know where it comes from, because I talked with Tyler about it, and he and I were both students of Ted Warren, and you can buy some of Ted Warren's books on Amazon. And he was an old time trader that had a 6th grade education, but you know, he retired at a very young age. He was a construction worker, and he figured out how the markets work. And what he looked for was very quiet markets, you know, and what he called that, you know, accumulation, and that's the ones he would invest in, and then he would sell them out, you know, when the market would explode and got volatile. And that's why, you know, when we were real quiet back there, you know, everybody said, well, this market's not interesting. I was very interested in it because, you know, that's the market I'm looking for. You can take a position either way and have a low risk. The problem you have now in this market is it's a risky thing to be in either way. I mean, there's just no way about it. I agree with Tone that somewhere along the line, we're going to get a 30 to 40% sell-off, but where's that going to happen? It's going to happen now. You know, or is it going to happen, you know, at 10,000 or, you know, 18,000? I don't know. And no, hopefully I'm pretty well neutral in the market. I guess I could screen share and show the position. I'm not, because it's really for subscribers, but I kind of got in the same bind because I've been selling the Ethereum against the Bitcoin, and you don't want to do that. I mean, I did, and hopefully it'll work out, but I had to back it up again because, you know, you can get blown out so easy because you have to carry the margin on both sides. So I'm kind of well funded, and I'm not risking much. I mean, my trading account's nothing, but I don't want to have any big drawdowns because I want to show you guys that you can do it. You can take a small amount and turn it into a large amount. If you take 2 Bitcoin and you double that 8 times, it turns into 256 Bitcoin. And I've done that before, and you can too. Okay. But that's just part of trading. Is only part of money management. Okay. And the other part of money management is, you know, you don't want, you know, if you want to have a decent personal life, you know, sometimes I get so involved in trading, you know, I ignore everybody around me. And if you're doing that, you know, what good is it doing you? And, you know, I mean, I have everything I could ever hope for. And so anything beyond this is just, you know, is my life goal to be the richest guy in the cemetery? Well, no, it's not. But I would like to teach you guys as much as I can. And I would like to spread the message of sound money. And I think it's very exciting times that you guys live in. As your HODL grows, the Bitcoiners are going to have more and more influence in the world. And so I think it is important. It's going to build a whole new culture and morality. And so that's where we're at. Okay. Anything else we want to say?
Here.
All right, go in. Hargo, I think we're breaking down here. Generational short. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty well flat. I sold Ethereum today all the way up, and it hasn't worked. I mean, I'm not in any trouble, but I was afraid I could get stopped out on one end or the other, so I had to back it up again. And hopefully we will break from here, because that would be what I'm hoping for and looking for. I'm not ready to take a position in this market. I would have to see a mark. I have some low vol pricing way down below last week's lows. I do think the first time we take out the previous week's lows, you can buy this thing. But I don't know where that's going to be. Right now, it'd be under 6,000. But next week, it's going to be quite a bit higher than that. So and it's going to be scary because it's going to be one of these, straight down sell-offs, and you may not get it. You may not get it. So, by nature, what happens is that, the higher you go, more people get bullish. And that's just the nature of the beast. I mean, it was all alone back there in January, and more people came in April, and then more in May. And then he got, but he's a long-term trader. He bought it down at, I don't know, 1,000, 2,000, sold it at 15 or 17. I don't know what. And that was his only trade he's made in Bitcoin. And so now he's finally buying it, but he's a long-term position trader where, I'm a gunslinger. And most of you guys are gunslingers. You're not managing, hundreds of millions of dollars. I have no idea what the catalyst of the recent pump is. I have no idea, except it feeds on itself. I think that technically it was on April 1st, we took out the weekly and the monthly and the quarterly high and smacked way up there. That was a powerful breakout, extremely powerful. And so I don't think we can come back down to those levels. I think, I thought at the very least, I didn't ever say that the bottom was in, but I said we have to get a rally before we break 3,000. We're not going to break that 3,000. That I was pretty well sure of. Okay.
Questions and growth.
I think that what I'm looking for is I think we're going to see. I think Bitcoin's going to go to new all-time highs, and could very well be on this move. And it looks like the alts, to a degree, some of the major alts might try and follow, but they won't. And that's going to be when the exit comes in. The exit, okay? That's people. You got to say that with a lisp and a weak rest, and that's in honor of Vitalik Buterin, who created this mess with Ethereum. So that's what I'm looking for. And I think that when that happens, you're going to have a train wreck on almost all the alts. Bitcoin should go back up to 90 to 95% dominance or more. I think the message is also getting out. I think it's starting to register to people that, hey, the competition is on the standard, and the standard is Bitcoin. And the reason Bitcoin is the standard is because it's the longest chain with the proof of work. Okay, Saifedean and Amos outlined it. F.A. Hayek wrote about it. When I read his work when it came out in 1973. He contacted me because he'd heard about me, but I never did understand when I read Denationalization and he talked about competition in currencies and free market banking. I understood the free market banking, but I always thought it was competition in currencies, like a gold standard would compete with a basket of commodities and so forth. But I read some other articles and he said, no, well, only one standard is going to evolve. And that makes sense. And it's actually, it's a standard that competes with the governments. And the cool thing about Bitcoin, it's going to make our governments more accountable and more honest. And that's the culture changing thing that's happening. And I just published a little article that said what was that article? It said Kostis and Jan had this great show, and they're both from the Soviet Union. Let me go to screen share, and maybe I can go to screen share. Where's screen share? Here? Where? I'm not getting it. Well, anyway, the name of the article was, oh, there we go. Okay. I can't remember the name of it, but boom. Application window, boom. Minimize. All right. Let's go to the Twitter. And let's go find this. There we go. This is the article here. The most American thing ever invented. And, I don't know why I didn't think of that, because it absolutely is. But the guys that came up and actually talked about it and called it that was Kostis, and I can't pronounce his name. Let's do this. Kęstutis. Actually, he was the one that called it the most American thing ever invented, and he's absolutely right. And what it you see, America is really not so much the geography, but it is the concept, and what Bitcoin is going to provide is going to provide a new liberty. And so we Bitcoiners, we're going to be building a new America, but it's going to be without a country. It may not be America. And that's the way I view this thing, because we're not going to be, they can hold our person down, but they can't hold our wealth down anymore. And so it really is a life-changing thing for the world, and it's just going to benefit everyone. So yeah, I do wish that the United States would, I've lost my faith in, I love my country, okay, and I love its Constitution, but I do despise my government. And I can go into a whole lot of reasons why, but I'm not going to do that. I can save that for articles or a later time. But people that have lived under oppression, people, and particularly these two men who, as youngsters, as children, lived under the Soviet Union, they appreciate and understand what liberty and freedom does, and how the destruction that socialism brings. And so, in my mind, this is where the future is. And this is where we're going to build a whole new culture and almost a whole new mindset. And even, I think it's going to have a positive influence on almost every nation. It doesn't mean they're not going to fight us. They're going to fight, a lot of them will fight us tooth and nail, particularly those that are in power and see themselves losing it. Okay, Diarrhea Stinker Boy. Wow, that's a nice name. When was the last time? Oh, okay. Well, let's see. That's it. Should I scroll it? Is there any other questions in there?
Don't move that mouse.
Okay, don't move that mouse. Don't move it up. All right, I think that's all. Oh, I was going to say too, I don't know if you guys noticed, I have an article, you check my Medium articles, if you remember the 6th, 16th, and 26th. And those days tend to be volatile and also reversal days. So I was kind of looking up to that. So I've been kind of looking for a reversal in here. And it may only last a day or two, but we need to get a good, sharp, or hard one. There's too many late buyers that have come in this thing that it'd be very surprising if they have a free ride. We got to challenge them somewhere around here. Alts pumping harder than Bitcoin. Well, just for the last day, if you look at your coin market cap, it's pretty well reversed. We went to over 60% dominance, and it dropped about down to 56, which is about a 10% drop. And it might go to 15%, but I don't think so. I think you're going to see the Bitcoin come right back. And again, what we're going to do, if this is a market where Bitcoin's going back to the highs, you're going to see this. What happens is people that miss the Bitcoin, they're buying the shit coins, and they're going to find out what they are. They're shit. And it's real simple. You buy shit. At the end of the day, you're going to have a handful of shit, and it's going to stink real bad. So, if they run these alts up, I'm looking to sell them. So, okay. Contango really doesn't mean anything now because you've already had the run up. It's really not much of a contango. It does not reflect full carrying charge, so it's very neutral. But in the past, when we've been negative like this, and then we come back into contango, but it was at a contango, a couple $1,000s lower. I think at 6,000, it was at a contango. So it's not a timing indicator. I've said that it's not a timing. Right now, it is neutral. Okay. So, and even at times when you get a real bull market, you'll see it go into a great big contango, but it can stay there a long time. Okay. We went to Back there in 2017, it was $400 and $500 contango. So, oh, that's too big. But then it went on out to like $2,000 or $3,000 contango. So if you were trading that spread, you ran out of money before it reversed and went the other way. And that's the problem with the alts too. I mean, it's hard shorting these markets when they're in the pump. Okay. I've turned 1.3 Bitcoin into 16 BC following your principles. All right. And then turned bear. Oh my goodness. At 5,300 adding. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, Mr. Oh. See? All right. That's perfect illustration. You can't do that. Okay. The problem is once you have that success, it goes to your head. Okay, remember, large traders become small traders. Okay, most small traders stay small traders. A few small traders become large traders, and the wise large trader chooses to become a small trader again. That's what I'm teaching you. And you need to have a life besides trading and trading Bitcoin. And that's why I want to get my wife on and you see all the things we're doing. We are literally, oh, you got one of those, she's literally making, I guess I say another thing too. We're actually mailing some swag out this week finally. And these are all t-shirts and hats. This is a Bitcoin hat. Is that one of my hats around? Anyway, she's making the ugly old goat fishing hats by hand all the way through. And so, no. Oh, yeah. So she didn't make this one. All right. So here's some that she's made. This is an I Love Bitcoin hat. And here's an ugly old goat hat. Now, we bought the equipment and we're making these right here in Mexico. And here's this one. But she's making a whole bunch more of these, different colors. And that's it. So, okay. Do you think it's a good strategy to buy a little bit on every minor drop? I think it's a good strategy to buy and hold Bitcoin. That's people ask, when do you buy it? Well, you buy it yesterday, you buy it today, and you buy it tomorrow. And look, let's go look at the dollar cost averaging chart. Let's see if I can screen share again. All right, let's go here. Let's go to application window. All right, minimize. All right, now I need to go, let's go to this one. I got to Google this how to. Ugly. Oh, I got a new computer here, so nothing pops up automatically in this computer. This is for the, it's a better computer for YouTube for some reason. I don't understand all this stuff. Okay, let me do how to. That should show up. How to profit. All right, we're going to update this tomorrow and I'll tweet it out as soon as we get it. Okay, this is what we want. Whoops, that's not it. Oh, it's there. Okay. We can do it here. It's on that. It's actually on the website. All right. Oh, I don't think we updated this. We didn't. Is it updated? No, it's not. April. Let me go to the other one that's on Medium. I want to do the Medium. We need to update the one that's on the website. Just so you know, because it's got all the old information. Okay. Medium. We're eventually going to have all the articles on our website, but Medium is so much easier to use, and that's what I use, and that's what I'm used to. And all these, every little change just requires a lot more work. How to profit. No, that's not it. You ugly old goat. If I was on my other computer, it'd pop right up. Medium. Okay. All right, here's an update. Let's look at the dollar cost averaging update. Okay, look, guys. People ask me, well, when do I buy? When do I buy? I don't know. There's a difference between investing in Bitcoin and trading it. You only want to trade a small part of your hodl, a very, very small part. Okay? And Kostis did a video today too on basically, you want to lose no more than 1%, but but you want to find opportunities where you're making 5 or 15 or 20%, and that's the whole key. I mean, if you made 16 Bitcoin out of 1 peso, and you lost, 1 Bitcoin, you made it to 16, that's super fantastic. But you blew it. Your money management is what destroyed you, because you didn't take that 15 out and start all over again with 1. Okay. So let's just look here. This is the very worst timing, and I can't wait till we update this tomorrow. But look at this. If you'd have started buying this thing, $500 a month back in December of 2017, you would have spent a total of $8,500, and the US dollar value is 7,200. You're down very little. And guess what? Tomorrow, you're in a profit. You're in a profit. And Tyler wrote, this great article. He said 1,000 or 10 million. Well, to me, and of course, I know he never said to sell Bitcoin, but unfortunately, too many people did listen to him and said, well, I'll just wait for it to go to 1,000 and then buy it. But we don't know. Nobody knows. And so that's why you dollar cost average. And by doing that dollar cost averaging, by very definition, you are going to buy more at the lower prices than you are at the higher prices. That's just the way it works. You have to be fundamentally correct in the market, but there's nothing more fundamentally correct than Bitcoin. There's no other market in the world right now that has the potential this one does. Nothing, none. So you just, if you drop everything, buy it right now at $8,000, and you hold it 5 years, you're going to be extremely well off. Everybody's going to look at the difference between 3,000 and 18,000 is just going to make people make it look silly. Nobody's going to think, oh, you bought it when it was 18,000. Oh, you got in at the bottom, because that's what people think I did when I bought it at $100. But yeah, I bought it at $100 and then it ran all the way and bought it all the way up to 1,000, and then it went back down to $100. So I think that will change, but we have to build commercial banking and have a credit system with Bitcoin. If we don't develop that side by side with Bitcoin, if we don't get the Bitcoin standard that will be off-chain and really it's goods and services are tied to Bitcoin, and that's going to happen, then you'll see the volatility disappear, and you're going to see this huge widespread adoption. But by then, Bitcoin could very well be $1 million. So that's where we're at. My most useful time frames, by far the 30-minute and 30-minute and daily and weekly. So that's what I like the most. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'll probably have again. I'm going to look into getting a webinar thing. So if you're a subscriber, you can log into the webinar. And if you're a lifetime subscriber, I'll probably just offer it for free or very low fee. And we can, and I don't know, we'll just see how it goes. But that's sort of what I have in mind. I don't want to just offer everything that I do to the public, and then I have, and then people are, you get trolled, and then getting these stupid Twitter things that go back and forth, and it's fun. Twitter's fun, but and I think it's educational too. I mean, hopefully my tweets are informative, but there is a lot of garbage out there too. I don't block anyone, but I've come close, and I guess I just ignore them. I guess if it becomes too obnoxious, I'll block them, but I haven't had to do that yet. Okay, so anything else that we need? Can I scroll that up and down to see what it is, or can you do it? How do I scroll that? Are there any other questions? Can you scroll down? There we go. Okay, I think we covered it. Okay, next draw. Do you think it's a good strategy to buy a little bit on every month? Yeah, it's okay to do that. The best thing to do is first of all, you shouldn't be trading unless you have a HODL, okay? I really, there's no reason for you to have a trading account if 15% of your assets are not in Bitcoin, 5 to 15%, okay? And, I guess if you're young and you really want to see if you can, run up some equity, you can get in there and get, and learn. But it's going to take you some time. Like you got to learn these lessons. It's just like, it's not hard to take a one Bitcoin and run it into 1650. That's not the challenge. The challenge is how much did you take home, and that's the challenge. That's where you got to be old and ugly to figure out how to do that. And I certainly make my mistakes. So anyway, okay. Well, we're done. Tomorrow, I'll be probably tweeting to you guys. If you are registered and have not ordered yet, do that, because tomorrow's the last day. Hey, if you sign up, just go ahead, do basic, and I'll give you all we'll just mark you as a full, because when I offered this, the price was half the price it was now, and I don't want it to be charging that much, because I could drop dead tomorrow. But that's the deal, and then stay tuned, because Kostas and I are going to do a really good program tomorrow. We have a special guest. In fact, he's in the chat. I didn't mention him yet because I want to make sure he wants to be on, but he didn't have a good experience either. And so that's who we're going to help you kind of get through that. You have to go through that to be a successful trader, and it's nothing to be ashamed of. You're not going to make, of course, I don't make any calls. I don't believe in that. I do look for opportunities in trading, and I do fundamentally believe in Bitcoin. Yes. You'll get the half price deal. Okay. So you do the basic. So if you do that, okay, 0.025 Bitcoin. And that's tomorrow's the last day, but 0.025 Bitcoin, and you get a lifetime membership, full membership, premium membership. We'll just put it down that way. But you got to do it. It's gone tomorrow. And the reason we're doing that, the affiliate codes are working. I haven't done it yet. Hopefully some of you guys have figured it out. But when I come out with some good articles, and I got some good ones in my head, hopefully we'll get out. And the big one is, I thought basically it's a total Bitcoin package. That's what we want to be selling, is we want people to understand it's not just hodling. I mean, it has been hodling, and that's still a big part of it. But Bitcoin is more than hodling. It's saving and it's building. And unfortunately, some of these terms have been misused, because the shitcoiners, the crypto world, they say, oh, yeah, build on shitcoin, but that you're building shit. So BUILDA is you build on Bitcoin. Okay, that's the standard. That is the Hayek standard. There's going to be one standard, and all the rest is inflationary Keynesian money. They're all riding on the Bitcoin coattails, say, oh, well, we're better than Bitcoin. This is better, and blah. Hey, we're not looking for, we just want a standard. Bitcoin's the most inefficient thing in the world, but that's why we want it, okay? Because it's the standard, okay? We can build these other things off chain. I mean, like I did an article, if you have a credit with me, hopefully we'll get it to the point that, other merchants that have credit, you might not want to buy one of my hats. Might want to buy Jimmy Song's book, or go to Tone-Based Seminar, or Tyler Jenks seminar. But you should be able to use a credit with me directly, go to them without going through Bitcoin. That's the beginning of a credit system. And the merchants, we'll provide that free, because we are a customer. We want to make you happy. All right. Well, thank you, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Be sure you tune in sometime between 4 and 6 tomorrow. Kostis and I I'm going to be at his studio in San Diego, and it should be a great show. And particularly if you got knocked in the head the last few weeks for making some wrong moves, well, we'll help you get through it, and just try and get your stinking thinking fixed up. Okay? Thanks, guys. I'll talk to you tomorrow.